Hello, my name is Colin and welcome to the Virtual DM. In this video, we're going to take a look at getting the most out of the quick bar. The quick bar is the area along the bottom here of your Fantasy Grounds screen. There are 12 slots that are available for you to drop quick links into, links that will take you to various information and functions that Fantasy Grounds has available to you, just making it a little easier to get at those so you don't have to click through multiple menus or go to multiple character sheets to find that particular function or piece of information. Now, there are multiple quick access bars that are available to you. This is the standard bar, 12 slots, but you can also get at an additional 6 quick bar menus by using the Shift, Control, and Alt keys. So if I press Shift, you'll notice here along the bottom that I get an S6, S7. If I press Control, I get a C6, C7. If I press Alt, I get an Alt6, Alt7. If I use Shift and Control at the same time, it's SC, 6 and 7. Control and Alt at the same time, CA 6 and 7. And finally, if I use Shift, Control, and Alt at the same time, we get an SCA 6 and 7. So a total of 7 available groups, which gives us a grand total of 84 slots. So a lot of information that you can have stored for quick access. Now, in order to add information to these slots, you simply need to left click on whatever link it is that you want access to and just drop it in the slot. So starting with something really simple, come up here to my combat tracker. I'm going to left click on that link, drag that down and drop that in here. And you can see I now have the combat tracker. I left click on that bottom. It opens my combat tracker. I am able to do the same here with my party sheet. Drop it down, left click now on that link, and that opens my party sheet. So gives me quick access to a bunch of things that I may get into. Down the side here, for instance, in images, we have our map pack volume 1. I may want quick access to this basement study map, and I'm going to drag and drop that down here. So now when I click on there, that opens this map up to me. I don't have to come over here, go into images, find that group, find that particular map or image. So nice and quick access. If I want to change the name on any of the things that are stored in here, I just right click on it, come here to edit label, and I may change this up to map to study. And now when I left click on there, that'll take me into that map. When I want to clear things out of here, I right click and come up here to this clear slot. So I'm just going to clear all of these slots out. So any of the buttons and the information that is available within those groupings, encounters, NPCs, for instance, if I maybe want to be able to check the stat block for an adult black dragon, I can drop that down here in the session when that becomes relevant. I want to check on my stat block for my adult black dragon. Quick and easy way to do that. So that is the first groupings of information that we can get at. Second thing we can add into our quick bars here is a modifier. So using the scroll button, I can actually scroll up and down here to add in a modifier. So I'm going to add in a +2 modifier. Maybe I have a need to use this on multiple occasions. I'm going to drag that over, left click on it, drag it over, drop it into my quick bar. Then every time I click on there, you can see I get a +2 over here. So if I throw a die, a D20, I get a +2 on that. If I need that again, I left click on it. You can see I have a +2 modifier here again. And I roll, get my +2 modifier. So nice and easy way if I have a modifier that I use over and over again. I can also add in dice combinations if I have a dice combination I use all the time. So maybe it's 2d20 here. So I'm going to drop that into this slot. I can see my 2d20. I left click on there, and that's going to roll 2d20 for me. If you have a unusual dice combination, let's say I need a d20, so I drop that in there, along with a d4. I drop that in there. Now you can see we have a d20 and a d4. And if I left click on there, that rolls that d20 and d4 for me. So a really quick way to get at strange dice combination if I happen to need one. Next thing we'll take a look at is character sheets. So I'm going to switch over to my player instance of Fantasy Grounds, where we have two characters here, Blaze and Crow. Now there are things on your character sheet that you commonly need to access. So we'll open Blaze here. Going to his main tab. Initiative is a very common function that you need, a dice roll that you need. So I'm just going to left click on there and drag that down here. And I'm going to relabel this as Blaze Initiative. And now when I left click on there, that's going to roll initiative for me. So Blaze has rolled initiative. I might also, let's say in skills, maybe I use perception checks quite a bit. Left click, drag that down. And again, I'm just going to relabel that for my clarity. So I know this belongs to Blaze because I have two characters here. And when I left click on there, that is now going to roll a perception check for Blaze. I can do the same for my second character here for Crow and add those in. So I have quick access to Blaze's initiative and perception, and I could have quick access to Crow's initiative and perception. So it makes it quick and easy way to get at that. You can also add in actions. You might want to add in a dagger attack, their damage. You can add all of those in there if those are common things that you're doing on that particular character sheet. Going back to our Dungeon Master instance of Fantasy Grounds, a couple of other things that we can add into the quick bar. If you have common chat phrases that you may use, you can add those. One thing that you can do is what's called a vote. I use this sometimes to make sure that everybody is ready to go. So I've created a little vote here. Are you ready to start? Just going to clear out the chat. So I can drag this over into one of my slots here. And then anytime I left click on this, it will send this chat. So I go back over to my player window and you can see we have, are you ready to start? We're going to check yes, we are. And when I come back to the DEM window, there we are. I can see that they're ready to start. If I had multiple players on here, I would see a check mark for each of them so that I knew once they were all ready to start. So you can add in chat functionality, which is kind of useful. You can add in content from the manuals. So if I come up here, excuse me, to my modules, to my D&D player handbook, we're going to go into reference manual, down to our appendices, and our first appendix here is conditions. So if I want easy access to check on conditions, I can drag this down here, drop it in. I am going to relabel this so it's easy for me to understand what that is. So we have conditions. So I'll close this all up. During the game, a condition comes into play. I just want to remind myself about that condition. Left click on here, and it's going to open up that part of the manual for me so I can take a quick look at that particular condition. Now, I can also add links to outside information that maybe I want to reference during the game. So open up a browser here. I'm in D&D Beyond for conditions. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to copy this link, come back to my Fantasy Grounds instance. I'm going to paste that into our chat and hit enter, which is going to create a link for me, a link that I am able to click on, and it'll open up the URL in my browser. So I'm going to drag that over, drop it in. I'm going to right click on there, change the name to conditions. And now when I click on this link, that opens up a new browser, or sorry, new tab in my browser that takes me right to that URL. So I'm able to see conditions here in D&D Beyond, which I can access any of that information. So able to look at information inside of Fantasy Grounds, and by using a link, you're able to look at information outside Fantasy Grounds. So lots of things that you can store on your quick bar to get you quick and fast access to information and functionality that Fantasy Grounds has available. That should make your sessions run that much smoother, so you're not digging around in menus and windows to look for any particular piece of information. You can have it right there, readily available for yourself, good to go. That's it for this video. Thanks very much.